What's going on, everybody? Future DDS family. Today we are here with Monica DiCarlo from University of Iowa College of Dentistry. Monica, I'd like to say thank you. On behalf of all the pre-dents watching and all the viewers, thank you for taking some time out and speaking with us. Taking some time out of your busy schedule. Man,
Thank you. Thank you.
no
Thank
problem.
you for having me. So I am Monica. Like he said, I am a fourth-year dental student at the University of Iowa. I am currently on spring break. Just actually was playing some Mario Kart right before
Nice.
this, so living it up. I'm a fourth-year dental student at the University of Iowa. I'm from Des Moines, Iowa. I went to Iowa State University, go Cyclones, where I majored in biology. And then after that, I transitioned directly from undergrad to dental school at Iowa. And I will graduate as of now on June 5th.
Nice. Iowa through and through.
Yeah, Iowa through and through, but I'm moving to Oklahoma when I graduate. So
Oh, wow.
no more Iowa, I guess.
Okay, awesome. You said you were fourth year, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it may have been a little bit, a kind of a long time ago for you. But if you could, if you could give us your number one tip for, doing well in the DAT, whether it's a tip that you gave somebody that worked for them, or maybe something you've heard from a first year now, or something that you use personally.
Okay, so I had to really scratch my brain when I saw this question, trying to think back. The biggest thing for me on success on the DAT is that I would say the test is definitely a search and destroy kind of exam where you're going to read the question and you're going to think, what the heck is this answer? I don't even know what it's asking. And you're going to have to go to the answer options and eliminate wrong answers. So you're going to search through all of them and destroy the wrong answers to get to the right answer. I would say that's the number one tip I would say for taking the exam. And then another tip is doing practice tests, which you're going to hear that over and over, but that's really important on getting your time management skills down and kind of deciding how much time you want to take per question and where you want to invest your time in studying.
Yeah, that's really big. Just time management. I think that's huge. Just because you can know the information, but if you run out of time at the end, you just start like guessing. You get stressed out. Yeah, that's huge.
Exactly.
So, do you remember like I guess exactly like what type of materials you used? Did you use Kaplan, or did you just kind of find tests offline? How'd you do it?
I used, is Chad's videos still a
Chance.
thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Chad's videos, I watched those, and DAT Bootcamp.
Okay.
I think I paid for a membership online, if I remember right. And there was practice questions on there. And then I also just Googled it, like DAT practice exams or DAT practice questions, and found stuff on YouTube and online, and would just go through testing myself on those.
Cool. So, at University of Iowa, I'm sure there's some students that specifically are, tuning into the video to go to that school specifically. So, are there any type of like pre-dental enrichment programs or feeder programs that you guys have for prospective students there?
So, for the University of Iowa specifically, if you choose to go there for undergrad, they do offer a 3-year pre-dental tract where you just take courses and then apply directly from those courses to the University of Iowa College of Dentistry.
Wow.
So you don't actually graduate with a Bachelor of Science degree. You just take the pre-dental courses and then apply directly into the class. They also, for students that want to go through and get a traditional 4-year degree, they have a pre-dental club at the University of Iowa. They have twice a month meetings where you get to go to the dental school. You get to meet some of the admission staff, things of that sort. You get to interact with present day dental students, getting to do different activities, getting to shadow them, kind of learn about what dentistry is about. And obviously they give you more tips and tricks on studying for the DAT and things of that sort. The last thing I've seen some undergrad students do is apply for jobs at the College of Dentistry.
Mm-hmm.
So they will work in sterilization or work as greeters or things of that sort. So that's kind of a way to get your foot in the door and kind of see what dentistry at Iowa is all about.
Nice. Those are, you guys seem to be very involved. That's really good.
Yeah.
Like multi-level. But okay, so just to stay, back in that time where you were preparing for the DAT and applying to schools and everything, how was your application process and interview at Iowa? Like, was Iowa State the only school that you applied to? And, how was the interview process when you actually got there?
So I applied to 3 schools, with Iowa being my number one choice. I submitted my application. It opens June 1st, I believe, around that date. And I submitted my application about 2 weeks after that. So I had taken the DAT and everything of that sort. I actually heard back from Iowa mid-July and had my interview at the beginning of September. The other 2 schools I heard back, I got waitlisted on for interviews. So, but back to Iowa, when I came for my interview date, it was kind of a half day where you had some lectures on financial aid and what Iowa City is like and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You take a tour of the school, and then your specific interview, at least for me, it may have changed slightly since then, but it's a 20-minute interview. Very important to know, it's a closed folder interview. So the people interviewing you don't know anything about you besides your name. So they haven't seen your grades, they haven't seen your involvements, anything of that sort. The first 10 minutes of the interview was all structured questions. And so I kind of took those 10 minutes to really hit on like what I've been involved in and what I think I could bring to Iowa. And then the second 10 minutes is just kind of more chit chat. I guess it's like unstructured and more just them wanting to get to know your personality. So maybe have a little fun tidbit about yourself or something like that to kind of make you stand out. And then I now know that they have a writing, like an essay portion of the interview as well. Instead of doing a supplemental application where you answer essay questions prior to your interview, you actually have that happen at your interview day, where you are given 3 prompts and you choose between 2 of them and write short essays and turn it in on the day of your interview.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Okay, yeah. So a little change from when you went through it, but I'm sure
Yeah.
it's still pretty relaxed, and they make you feel at home there too.
Yeah. It was nice. The interview was like short and sweet. I mean, 20 minutes at that time felt like a long time, but it
Yeah.
was nice. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm not rambling too much. You keep it short and sweet, and it kind of just made it more comfortable for everyone. And your interview is towards the later half of the day, so you're kind of more at ease. You've been on the interview, or the tour, excuse me, and you've kind of gotten a chit chat with other applicants, so you feel more relaxed than you did when you walk in the door in the morning.
Got you. So, after you finally get the acceptance, you realize that you're going to go to Iowa. How was that first year for you? If you could just, kind of tell about how the experience was going through your first year. Speak a little bit on curriculum or how the classwork was for you. And then, if you could just speak a little bit about how like the clinic situation is, getting into lab and the actual dentistry.
Yeah, definitely. So our dental class was 80 students. You all show up during the orientation. You get to meet everyone, good stuff.
Yeah.
They give you tips and tricks and kind of tell you the outline of how your classes are. One big thing about the Iowa's curriculum is that classes aren't necessarily by semester. They're just kind of however long they need to be. So some classes they'll be done in 4 weeks. Some are 8 weeks to 10 weeks. Some take 3/4 of the school year. Some are the full year. So you're kind of starting and stopping classes throughout your whole 4 years, which I thought was nice because you're not taking on a giant load in the fall and a giant load in the spring. They kind of stagger it out. You start off the fall by hitting your basic sciences pretty hard, biochemistry, physiology, things of that sort, kind of refreshing your memory from anything you might have missed out on in undergrad. You also get to start with waxing up some teeth and finally kind of getting your hands warmed up to that side of dentistry. And then starting in about October, you start having more classes in our simulation clinic where you actually get to start taking molds and pouring them up into stone and things of that sort, kind of seeing the backside of what dentistry is and all the lab work.
Yeah.
And then starting around Thanksgiving break, you get to do mannequin exercises. So you start drilling and filling on the mannequins right in middle of November. And then when you come back from winter break, you get to go into the clinic with your classmates and you start learning how to clean teeth and flossing each other and all that good stuff. And then at the very end of your first year, you get to see 2 patients. So you'll have real life patients come in and get their teeth cleaned by you.
nice.
Um, yeah, so that's pretty fun. Um, Big classes you take D1 year, I guess, are kind of those simulation courses I was talking about, the clinic courses, and then you take anatomy and histology in the springtime. That's 10 credits. It takes up a lot of your time,
Yeah.
but it ends in May, and our schooling goes till June. So then you have about a month to just chill and practice your hand skills and getting really good at taking x-rays on each other and cleaning each other's teeth, which is awesome.
Got you. So seems pretty good. Like they ease you in pretty early, actually. Getting into the actual clinical side of the dentistry. So that's pretty dope. I like
Yeah.
that. So last couple questions here. We're gonna start wrapping up soon, but if you could just let me know what is something that is unique about your school. Something that you wouldn't want to change about your experience. Granted, I know you only have your one dental school experience, but what is something that you feel like is very unique about Iowa that you want to kind of share with everyone?
Okay, I'm gonna do like a two-parter. One, we get to be in clinic really early, starting our D1 year. D2 year, you're actually doing fillings on patients, so I think that's pretty early, maybe compared to other schools, from what I've heard. The biggest thing that's unique about our school is our third year, you rotate. We have all the specialties housed in the College of Dentistry at Iowa, and you rotate through each specialty. So you spend just 5 weeks doing fillings, just 5 weeks seeing kids, just 5 weeks doing root canals, just 5 weeks doing oral surgery.
Wow.
You get to go through all the specialties, which I think is really unique for us. And then our fourth year is when you see patients, you treatment plan for them, and you complete their treatment plan from start to finish. So a lot of schools traditionally do what we do our fourth year. They do those third and fourth year.
Yep.
And something unique about Iowa, like I said, is we do the block system, which I think is awesome because you get a lot of experience in each subject at once to kind of build your brain and build your skills, because you're doing it daily for 5 weeks without anything else to distract you from.
That's interesting. I haven't heard that system, at any other school. I think that would be beneficial, like you said, to just kind of batch all of that information and seeing a lot of different cases. Because, if you do a week of rotation, you might not have a really big case there. But if you're there for a month, I'm sure you'll see something.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like I said, I don't have any other experience, so I liked it, but I think it's a good way to bring everything together and get a practice on it. So
definitely, for sure. So, last question. This is a big one. If you could go back in time and tell yourself, while you were still applying to dental school, the younger version of yourself, if you could tell that version of you one thing, what would that advice be? What would that one thing be?
I would tell myself to actively shadow more. I shadowed a lot, but I didn't really know what I was looking at or like what was going on. And maybe some of the dentists I shadowed weren't very helpful at telling me what was going on, but I should have been more forward and asked questions, because I used to sterilize instruments before I got into dental school. So I'm like, oh, I've been around it and things of that sort. And then I got there, I'm like, I don't know anything. I barely even know how to count the teeth numbers, So I would definitely go back in time and like ask about different filling materials or ask about just little things that, could give you a leg up in dental school, because I felt like I was coming in with nothing in my brain, even though I thought I would know a lot. And maybe taking some art classes. The design and art side of dentistry was really hard for me to get acquainted to, because I've only ever been used to doing science. So I would say doing something with your hands, like sewing or taking like a clay pottery class, would have been helpful.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. That's actually really good advice. Getting good with your hands, even though I'm sure, as you know, like it's such a big learning curve once you start getting in there and like drilling it and working on the patient. It's a whole other thing. But that would be really good. So again, just want to say on behalf of Future DDS and all the viewers out there, I want to say thank you so much for taking some time out, sitting down and speaking with us. If anyone has any questions for you personally about your journey or maybe about University of Iowa, what's the best way that they can reach out and get in touch with you?
They can either reach out to me via email or Instagram, DM me. My email is Monica, MONICAC, DeCarlo, DECARLO @gmail.com, or my Instagram is DeCarlo_Monica.
Got you. Okay. And we'll make sure we put that down in the description so
Perfect.
Everybody will be able to just click a link or copy and paste it so they can get to you. Okay,
Okay.
but again, you know, I just want to say thank you again. Has been extremely valuable. I'm sure you've been helpful for a lot of pre-dance out there, especially those looking at University of Iowa. You know, but I think that's gonna wrap it up. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was really fun to reminisce on the good old days of dentistry before this whole coronavirus thing. So thank you.
Definitely, definitely. And everybody out there, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever we post up new content. If you have any questions for us, make sure you go over to Instagram and follow us at _FutureDDS and send us a DM, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But until next time, it's going to be it. See you guys later. All right, now,
Thank
Marcus.
you. Bye.